is known that nothing can ever hold Eleanor.
Oh. Thank you.
It can never be held or stopped from moving in any way.
So he can't be dazed.
I mean, that depends. I'm assuming it's like freedom of movement. I don't know if freedom of movement works
We're
against
talking
days.
game rules.
I think it does.
Freedom of movement would not stop days.
No? It's movement impaired.
No, it's
Well,
not
I guess
counted as
it...
movement.
No.
Being dead is movement impairing, so
I'm immune to death.
yes, it's like
Yeah, okay, if you go with that.
he's trained in Warblade.
Freedom of movement is more precisely paralysis, slow, solid fog, slow web.
I never succeed in dazing bosses anyway these days. The saves are way too great.
Being dazed doesn't stop you moving; it just stops your turn.
But it's certainly fun to
But
try.
so does paralysis.
Paralysis has different things written about it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't argue against our abilities anyway.
You can argue being unconscious is a.
Of course he can be dazed.
Certainly.
Just saying, you could argue unconscious stops your movement.
So he would probably see through my Shargammon ruse. Oh well.
I don't think that would have worked.
Oh,
I don't know.
it was such a good scheme though.
I don't know. What is his perception?
It would be such a good scheme though.
What is his perception?
That's... He's a Linon. He would just... If he has true sight, he could see through it anyways.
No, because that's normal disguise. That's not including magic.
True sight definitely sees through polymorph effects.
Does it?
Yes.
Because it's not an illusion. You have literally changed.
No, true sight sees through polymorph effects.
Does it state that?
Yeah, and sees the true form of polymorph changed or transmuted things.
This would be Cairn in there. Roar! I say. He would be like,
Did it have true sight?
We think so.
You assume. But we should probably just stop planning and go there.
Sure.
I did already suggest that, but no one did it. So it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I can, say the word and we go.
Bird.
Okay.
We go!
Bird is the word, let's go.
Poof!
Too late, you're not here.
Kyron's standing on the table, saying, let's go.
You take the table with you. You can carry it. It's in your carrying capacity.
Yes, Kyron will carry the table.
Alright, we'll bring the table with us.
And the couch.
Alright, you can go here.
And the island. It's in my heavy load.
The island is not in your heavy load.
Where is that?
Yes, where is this?
Oh,
Blip.
So technically, a large enough construct could, in theory, teleport an island.
Cairn
Oh.
of Nithaka.
And as you appear,
ah,
Teleport sickness. I forgot about this.
yes, you appear and you look around. Basically, it's very hard to see anything because there's just slate and ice raining from the sky. A sort of sharp wind blowing your hair and clothes and armor sort of flapping everywhere. Sort of distant cracks as if giants are throwing rocks at mountains. And, you can sort of feel almost like an anger in the wind. And as you sort of look away and look further out, those of you with decent vision, you kind of see that you're kind of standing on a cliff, almost sort of above what seems to be a large flat plateau of ice. Around you, there are sort of standing stones, probably laid here by some ancient, long-forgotten civilization. And out here, there's basically just like...
standing here admiring this, Casual will drink 2 potion. It's really pretty.
Who took
We
a
had
tape
us
with
peering
you?
around as we arrived.
We didn't take the table with us.
You said you did.
No.
table will mark our camp.
Okay. Yeah, it marks our entry point. Forever, this is now the entry point. On top of the table, like the devil did.
We plant our banner.
In the wind, you can sort of hear the howling of distant elementals. Their fury against the existence of something orderly in this far cold spot of the world.
The table has to go.
It's too cold for the table.
It agitates the elementals.
Well, here you see basically an entrance to what seems to be a cave.
Where?
Here.
Okay.
Oh, that next spot.
Well, this here is basically down into what seems to be a large, something like a lake or ice field. Currently, it is very hard to see things, and there's sort of everything's obscured and everything has cover in here. You can't see creatures that far away, as there's just storm and slate and ice. And probably staying here for too long would make people who don't have some sort of resistance to cold fatigue due to just the fucking cold. It's a terrible place to be.
One thing I was thinking about is as well as the acid shield, probably having a cold shield.
As you look around, though, you do find it interesting that you are on top of this, what basically is a peak standing here. It looks like this was perhaps once a larger mountain, but that the rest of it has just been eroded away. But this one has not been particularly touched by it. And as you look, sort of, if any of you do, towards this sort of the sides here, where you can see erosion has worked, you can see what seems to be some sort of lots of sort of large, half-eroded bones stuck inside of the cliff and the ice. Ice almost in the cliff like veins of minerals. Of creatures that look like large fish things with tentacles on them. Most likely been stuck there for a very, very long time.
Julia.
Zacharias peers around. He flies up a little bit. Peers in storm.
It's very hard to stay still flying.
Sure.
As the amount of just sort of really you're sort of getting splattered with wet snow constantly.
Does Zacharias feel any different?
Not right now.
Okay. Then at least I'm immune to the cold.
I don't really see any animals around here.
Yeah, that cave though, like he motions towards the cave. And
Seems very crudely cut out, yet very precise still.
We should definitely head inside.
Is this the cairn
see
though?
sort of statues, what seems to be half-made statues of Cyclops.
Oh.
Two of them out here, out to the side of it. Sort of cut out of the rock.
Cyclops. Interesting.
One-eyed giants.
Let's see, does Zacharias know anything of Cyclopses up here, and if they would actually build anything like this?
Zacharias doesn't really like. The bugbears certainly didn't have any with them, and I mean, if they have been here, they probably aren't here now, and he doesn't really know if they have been. But I mean, these people or whoever built this have either imagined them being mysteriously correct about their existence, or have met some at some point. Or why? Maybe that's forgotten to the ages.
Zacharias looks towards the others and says, "This might be the entrance to the cairn." Yes.
And let's head inside instead of getting wet and cold.
No, we don't know what's in there.
Well, we can't find out unless
Does
we
anyone
actually
have
go in.
architecture engineering?
Yes.
Yes.
You can roll a check if you want.
Aha!
Sir,
Can I aid Zacharias on this check?
You can if you want.
I will be aiding Zacharias on this check.
Wonderful.
So that's a first
Zacharias will
four.
notice that that actually, this seems primitive and whatnot, but it actually is far from it. The construction is apparently built and cut out so that it sort of optimizes the amount of carrying capacity of this mountain. Basically, a lot would be damn necessary to make this thing collapse. As long as the mountain stands, this thing is going to stand as well. It is built to be exceedingly durable. Something that would last the ages.
He nods himself, looks to the others. This is most likely the cairn. If Nithhogger is in there, we might want to protect ourselves before heading inside.
Cash nods and stunt.
You're saying that Azazuri seems to be casting a spell on himself.
Yeah, you notice that's Cash does cast some spells on herself too.
I'm casting really long duration buffs, like 160 minutes.
Yeah, long buffs up, definitely.
Would you like the acid shield? It won't last forever, considering I don't know how long we're walking around. But
How long does it last?
well, we've got 5 targets, so we have to divide this up.
By the way, if you fight out here, casting due to weather is going to have a chance of failing.
Sure.
What chance of failure?
A 20%.
Even casting buffs?
If you're in combat,
out,
yes.
Out of, okay.
Oh, in
If you're in
combat.
combat right now, I assume you can sort of just take your time and do it.
We can be very
Okay.
careful,
Make you do it.
meticulous.
But yes, if you're in combat out here, any spell casting, we'll get the 20%.
But yeah,
I
it
would
would last.
certainly like to head inside rather soon instead of just getting wet and cold. Of course,
Yeah,
the Lich
right.
doesn't care, but he does.
But yeah, right now the acid
Like
shield.
he's getting
would la-
snow in his skull.
Right now the acid shield would last 32 minutes.
That's fine.
Brain freeze.
Okay, 1 32-minute acid shield up.
Thank you.
How much does that do? 160?
120. It caps at 120, so
Acid.
yes, 120 acid HP.
Okay.
Because we only need all the special buffs on him.
How much death ward do we have? Because
How
we know
much-
that we know he is like specialized towards death stuff.
Well,
I
I'll be-
got one.
You can cast Death Ward?
Yeah.
Thank you! Thank you!
No problem, because I can't count on you guys, can I?
My level 4 slots are
Hint,
so
hint.
valuable. Like, I
How
just
long does
thought-
Death Ward last?
Death Ward lasts 16 minutes for me.
Yep, it's a minute buff.
Which is why I'm a bit hesitant about casting it.
Yeah, I would suggest
can-
we at least head inside.
We can take a peek inside, but I mean, if the Linum is there, it's just buff everything up and just, oh god, help.
Should we give Marcus some method of flight?
Yes, probably. I cast fly on Marcus.
You know, I'm just saying, because just in case.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, I put freedom of movement on myself, for example.
Wow, well,
Because I decided I don't want to get entangled by anything. Not right now.
Tangled by Linons, the worst thing.
You know,
that is that's pretty bad. Yes, that is pretty bad.
yeah, if we have one enemy that's immune to movement impairments, I'm going to be immune as well.
That's fine. Well, let's peek inside, shall we?
As you walk to the cave here, you see that it actually is quite full of snow and ice that has sort of covered enough of it to almost seal it as the tunnel goes down. There's enough room to sort of squeeze through for you. Larger things would have a very hard time getting in and out of it. And although it would take you guys a little bit of time to sort of push through, at least this stops anything from coming after you.
Although we might want to blast this open because we might need to get out of here very quickly.
Well, then we remove any chance of
So
sneaking up
also
on
notice
whatever
sort of
is
from the
inside.
shape of the ice that some air seems to be blowing through in there.
Oh, so there's
It's a tunnel.
another.
It smells. Sorry, to smell the air. It seems very, very sort of damp and sort of as if it has been underground a very long time.
If we have to run away, I think we can teleport. So we should leave this here so we can get inside somewhat sneakily. I would assume fireballs will be pretty
I'll
loud.
suggest that nothing big has been leaving this place for a long time.
Yeah, I suspect that he has either he's like sleeping here, or he's not left, or he has another entrance like Chargamon, like he has a back door somewhere.
Well, the thing is, this is not his lair, basically. This is just some tomb that he has decided to become obsessed about, I think. So this is even more weird.
Yeah, so this is where he is now these days.
This,
basically.
yeah, for the last decade or so.
Yeah, so it will probably be his lair at this point. It doesn't
I guess
matter.
He's just taken it. Yeah.
Actually, I just realised something I can also do. If you want, I can cast Death Ward using the Extend Rod and make it last 32 minutes.
It's pretty good.
Which could be an option.
We'll consider it. Zacharias will peer inside.
Sure. It's the narrow ice tunnel sort of stretching a little bit.
There isn't a Linorm staring back.
No.
Okay.
Good.
He has the invisibility.
Sort sort of if you have seen those entrances to all the tombs in Skyrim, you know, with those sort of alcoves inside the walls with skeletons in them. That's what Zacharias sees,
Okay.
but with no skeletons yet.
So, Zacharias
Yeah.
feels quite homely, is what you're saying.
Zacharias tries to step one step inside, but he holds out a hand behind him, basically telling the others to hold back for a second.
Sure.
Does he feel anything?
Not at the moment, no.
Frowns.
I
or-
see the ice seems very hard and tough. Maybe
Oh.
unnaturally so.
There was supposed to be some sort of wards here. He detects magic.
Right. The ice seems faintly magical.
In what way?
It seems to basically be somewhat hardened by the very presence of this place. It seems that something inside that the wind is blowing through probably carries some sort of residue with it. Maybe some dust of what seems to be broken stone dust that has been infused in the ice.
Okay. Zacharias will head inside. Taking fairly cautiously here. He wants to be. He's looking all around, and basically he has detect magic running in front of him in a cone, trying to detect anything that.
Yeah, he pushes, sort of begins to push and force and loudly make his way through the passage. I mean, it's a little uncomfortable, but beyond it takes a little bit of time. But beyond that, the ice is not really. I mean, the sort of hole is big enough for people to get through.
Zacharias goes first, just pushing through the snow like a mole.
Yeah. And there's more ice than snow here. Snow is at the outside.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And as you do, you begin to feel sort of heavy as you move into the place, and you can feel the effect of that. Zacharias is pretty sure that while in here, the effect of a dimensional anchor is on him. Beyond that, it seems that his sort of undead resistances are somewhat sort of pale. It is as if he can feel his long gone heart beating in some distant place, as if he can sort of to feel the blood in his hands, even though he can look at them and see that it isn't there. And
Zacharias.
he does feel oddly vulnerable to things that would otherwise not hurt him. Although the cold still
shudders.
doesn't bother him.
He shudders, and that's the first time you've seen him shudder, probably.
The mortal coil is returning.
He takes almost like a side step and sort of leans against the wall a little bit.
Are you okay, Zacharias?
Well, yeah, catch below him. What's going on, Zacharias?
He seems bent over for a second as he's breathing, like you hear him breathing, but you don't see it. Or does he see his breath?
No.
No. You hear him like wheezing heavily and says, "This place is going to be difficult." He sort of rights and says this. We are under the effect of a dimensional anchor. We could not teleport out of this place.
Expected.
He looks around, looks again at the ice. We should try to make this entrance more spacious. If we need to run away, this will be the only way out.
Assuming that even with a way out, we can outspeed anything that is going to chase us. I would rather we try to keep a rather low profile and not announce our being here.
Zacharias looks around. Is there anyone around?
Not right now, no. There's just the howling of the winds and the cold.
Are fireballs louder
should
than the
look-
wind
look for-
outside? Are fireballs...
Well, in here they would be. In here
They would be,
echo.
yeah.
The wind
So I-
outside, if you do it outside, like the people in here would probably not be bothered. If you do it in here, people outside would not be bothered. But
So
You
we're
can-
saying from outside we cast Firestorm on the way in.
Yeah.
see, people might notice that there's suddenly a firestorm in everywhere. But yeah,
Well, I'd use the quick duration Firestorm, the 1 round one, not the 9 rounds.
Zacharias brings out his dagger
Yeah.
And he stabs himself.
Deal 1d4
Okay, you're
points of
having
damage.
us worried here.
He will not try to avoid this. He will just stab himself.
I mean, nothing
Um,
happens really. It's a dagger. Just hits the bone and
Does
No
not bypass
damage?
damage reduction.
doesn't
Okay.
pierce the damage reduction.
Hmm?
Doesn't pierce the damage reduction.
Okay.
What the hell are you doing?
Seems to consider, and he pulls out a wand, the wand of cure light wounds. He pokes himself with it.
What the hell are you doing?
Make a will save to resist.
Nope, he does not try to resist this.
Takes the full damage from the healing.
Okay, interesting. You see him shudder again for it being like, and then he pokes himself with the lich touch.
The thing is, this will take off the temporary points.
Right, that's fine.
But technically that's free
But
temporary.
does the lich touch hurt him, or does it like
Uh,
does it feel like it
It
rejuvenates
doesn't
him?
feel like it hurts him.
Does it feel like it rejuvenates him?
It feels like it. Let me restate that. No, it does not hurt him, and yes, it rejuvenates him.
Okay.
However, he still feels sort of weak. It feels friendly. However, he's not so
Friendly?
sure if Marcus did the same, if it would have the same effect.
Wait, what?
What?
What feels friendly?
His own touch. Like,
Oh.
it heals him. But
So would Marcus be hurt by it?
You
Interesting.
might be hurt if you touch Marcus.
Marcus, get over here.
I need to touch you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm an idiot.
Zacharias touches Marcus.
sure. Do your thing.
Does Marcus try to resist? Probably.
Probably yes. I mean, there's a fortitude save. Well, he can't be paralyzed normally.
No,
Maybe he can
But
now.
that's
maybe
yeah.
just
But that,
killed
that's
him.
the that's the thing I'm checking, kind of.
Oh yeah,
he
it worked.
can't.
Oh well.
Well,
But if he can, I
Leave
do have a
him here.
scroll of... If he does, I do have a scroll of remove paralysis on me.
that's
Let's
12
let's say
points
let's say
of
he
negative energy damage or healing on Marcus, depending.
well. Did he take damage? Yes.
Dun dun dun.
Does he regenerate still?
Yeah, it seems so.
And Zacharias will ask Marcus in detail if he felt like he was he felt a threat of paralyzation.
He did, but of course it was nothing compared to his strong.
Of course not. Of course not.
So, Knuckles will say he feels awkwardly vulnerable. He sort of looks at the others and says, like he was made of flesh and blood again.
Zacharias looks over to Sirius and says
Oh,
that it might be needed death ward for all of us.
did anyone have death ward on?
Not at the moment,
No, not yet.
All right,
because we were worried about duration. So
sure.
Might be worth casting them now.
If any of you look at Cash, she has a very smug smile.
I can certainly do a death ward. Unfortunately, they are quite potent spells. Doing so is going to exhaust quite a bit of my useful powers.
Does Marcus regenerate?
Yeah.
Okay. Zacharias looks at him and then looks to Sirius and says,
For like 12 minutes.
"It will be difficult for Marcus to get rejuvenated during combat. It seems."
If negative energy hurts him, I wonder if positive energy hurts him.
It hurt me.
Are you sure? Here.
Arg!
I wonder if you're still immune to non-lethal damage.
I don't know. Let's find out.
I
Let's
touch
punch
you. I
each
touch
other
you.
and see what
I
happens.
touch you with my salt touch.
Salt touch.
Yes.
No, that.
Does it do non-lethal damage to Zacharias?
We need to. We need to.
Siren frowns at your shenanigans.
I get non-lethal damage. What? Zacharias is
I think that's like
scandalized.
46.
He feels. It's not as if he was alive. It just feels like his sort of undead energy is waning, as if he's slightly more tired, just wanting to lay down in one of these empty slabs.
Well,
Perhaps forget about existence at all.
that was a nice drink. I don't think I've ever had that from you before.
Doesn't say it's serious.
Oh, that's bad. Very, unappetizing, very unappetizing drink.
You're not drinking from me.
Like taking a glass of
I have no
dust.
interest in drink from you. I thought we established at the moment I became an orc.
That you
Well,
wouldn't
it's
drink.
I have no interest in drinking from you. Or Chiron, because Chiron beat you around the side of the head.
Well, you did drink from Chiron.
That was done by accident, though.
Delicious chiron.
No, it wasn't.
well. Let's try this one more time.
With more feet.
What?
Zacharias shoots a ray of frost at Marcus.
Oh God, what is going on here?
Does Marcus take the 1d3
It's
cold
science.
It hits him, but it doesn't hurt him.
Oh, okay.
It's only negative energy damage that can hurt everyone now, I think.
Now, would you like to try this cold iron dagger next?
Just keep stabbing. No, I was just interested to see exactly what defenses has been weakened.
I got an adamantine dagger.
Well, he's kind of always weak to that. I mean,
I know, that's what
Yeah, but are you sure that you
Are you
still
sure?
I you better full attack him to be sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
From the back, right?
Yeah.
What if he's not immune? Maybe suddenly immune to sneak attack.
Well,
That gives
This,
me 4 death wards.
Like we do with everyone else. Here we go. Cash attacks.
I still don't really like
What happened to Marcus?
having a very small and cramped escape route in case something goes really bad in here.
Do you have disintegrate?
I do.
That's the easy option.
That is certainly true.
Is
Uh,
disintegrate
No,
quieter than
it's a
fireball?
green ray that when it hits, it turns to dust.
I mean, it doesn't create an explosion.
No, there's no explosion. It's just you shoot it and it hits and just.
You know, the loudest sound is actually the chanting to cast the spell.
Yeah. Zacharias will go outside and he will shoot a disintegrate into the passage to clear the ice. At least a tunnel big enough for them to, shoot the ray, to expand the tunnel. Basically, it doesn't want to remove all of the ice, but enough for them to get through without any problem.
Sure. Single file walking through without squeezing.
Yes.
And some of our walking speeds are rather fast, such as me and Marcus.
Yeah.
I'm
And
big each other.
I fly at 60, so
Well,
we are quite quick.
Our 50-foot land speed's also pretty good, though.
Yep.
So you descend.
Yes. Let's go inside.
The question is, when do we put Death Ward up? Because it only lasts 16 minutes or, 12 minutes for cash?
I know. The thing is, though, we don't know exactly what's in there, and
Exactly, that's the problem.
we don't.
Wow.
We
Putting it up in combat does take 5 rounds.
Yeah. We
As
of
soon
course
as you
want to
walk
do
in,
before
you
combat.
hear a sort of deep
I'm outside.
voice.
Karen
What?
didn't go.
The Chiron's locked outside the cave.
I was editing my token. Sorry.
Happens. You hear a deep voice saying, "Delekudarodan."
Wait, what?
What?
Do we recognise this language?
Do we recognize this language?
Sticks.
Hmm?
Linguistics.
Sure. I don't see my token right now.
I can review
Makes it
that.
slightly more difficult. Only slightly. I will aid Zacharias on this test, because I have a feeling his is better, because intelligence.
Oh boy.
Also, I can only fail to aid on a 1, so make that 29. Because I'll roll that. Yeah, so that's a 29.
Well, Zacharias doesn't know the language.
Can I
Never heard it.
aid as well? Can I still aid?
You have, to
I know.
you have to declare your aid beforehand.
Okay, yeah. What would I have rolled? I don't
How do you react?
I
Like,
would
are we
pull out a
still
scroll and use it.
Like, where are we more precisely? Like,
You're in the way down, walking down through the ice.
where did it come from?
Further down.
Okay.
Are we in a place where huge creatures wouldn't have a huge problem?
No.
Not yet.
They
Good.
would have, yeah.
What did the voice sound like? Did it sound like a
Here-
hissing dragon voice or like
No, it sounded like sort of a deep, almost a dwarvish voice. You hear it again. Delekudarodan. Now deeper. And just give me a second. Because,
kind of voice could it be?
It's a
Undercommon?
Bogard.
Cash understands undercommon, so
Yeah.
I do too.
what?
So it's not undercommon.
A lot
when?
of us know it. I don't.
What?
A lot of people do.
Since when?
Since quite a while.
You didn't.
Make a will save, all of you.
Do,
What
do I,
specific kind
do I
of will
see
save
the
is
person?
this?
Is this
No, not at the
against
moment.
a spell
damn
or a
it.
spell-like ability?
No.
Is this mind affecting?
No.
Only a 28. That's
28?
I'll roll Marcus.
That's disappointing. That was a 6.
24?
What?
High five, Marcus.
Marcus!
Marcus is a worse save than a lot of us, so except Cash.
Shut up. It's not funny.
I mean, Cash did pretty well actually.
Yeah, thank you.
For her own standards.
Yes.
So, Manikai, just to double check, are we still in the tunnel going into the place, or did we just enter the place?
Yes, you're still in the tunnel going into the place.
Still in the tunnel, okay.
So then what happens?
Well, the words seem to shake you within with its sort of demanding and chaotic nature. You see blasting inside of you. And, well, I think you all got high enough this year.
What is the DC of this like chaos word?
This chaotic word, if you will.
Actually, I think it's just word of chaos. But
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, you take half damage.
I like half damage.
That
What if you have evasion?
that doesn't work for this.
Aww.
That's
That
reflex
reflex save.
saves.
And you currently have no additional effects to that.
Okay, that's something.
But you feel like your ears ringing and your body is shaking slightly, as if they could have been
I assume that was sonic damage.
rendered useless. What?
I assume that was sonic damage or untyped damage.
It is actually on type, really.
Okay.
It doesn't have a type to it, so.
I can't be lucky enough like my 20 cold or my 25 or 30 cold to do anything.
I do think that if we want Death Ward, now's the time.
Surprise frowns odd. Nothing could live down here, surely. Ancient defenses, perhaps. He scans again with detect magic.
To Mutal?
He sees the ice is sort of glittering slightly as the many tiny pieces of rock in there is certainly magical. A faint aura.